One Zambia, One Nation. Thank you for joining us for Zanis News. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti. Top stories in the news. Food Reserve Agency pays over 43 million kwacha to Isoka farmers. Farmers urged to grow citrus fruit trees. Legal Aid Board opens office in Petaoke. Plus, Zambia-DRC Joint Permanent Commission meeting opens in Lubumbashi. Zanis News in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has invited the world's leading manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries, Contemporary Amperex Technology Company Limited, to consider partnering with Zambia in the electronic vehicle battery value chain. President Hichilema extended the invitation when he visited the company's headquarters in Niger City, Fujian Province in China. The head of state informed the company founder and chairperson, Robin Zheng, that Zambia, being centrally located in the region, can be used as a hub for battery distribution in other countries. We have more in the following report.
President Hakainde Hichilema is not leaving any stone unturned while in China. In his continued 6-day state visit to the People's Republic of China, President Hichilema has visited the world's leading electric manufacturer of lithium-ion batteries used in electric vehicles, Contemporary Amperex Technology Company Limited cartel, headquartered in Nenged, Fujian Province. It was here where the president invited the company, through its founder Robin Zheng, to consider creating a value chain in Zambia.
So where do you get your raw materials for plants?
Currently, the raw material getting from Africa, from Australia, for lithium. And now the cobalt nickel Indonesia, cobalt from Congo.
You know that Zambia has copper, cobalt, nickel, manganese, lithium based.
Lithium. Okay. I did a little bit study.
Lithium.
Okay, I didn't hear about lithium.
Okay. Just recently.
Recently.
Basically, just like copper, cobalt, nickel.
Cobalt.
Now,
Yeah.
We have some of the best. What is missing now is the storage.
Storage.
Yeah.
We are good at the storage.
Yes.
Cartel is known for producing a wide range of battery products, including battery cells, battery packs, and battery management systems. The company's batteries are used by various automakers globally to power electric cars and have played a significant role in the growth of the electric vehicle industry. The company is at the forefront of battery technology, research and development, contributing to advancements in EV range, charging speed, and energy storage capabilities. Cartel's innovations have had a substantial impact on the adoption of electric vehicles and renewable energy solutions world over. The company is at the forefront of battery technology, research and development, contributing to advancements in EV range, charging speed, and energy storage capabilities. Cartel's innovations have had a substantial impact on the adoption of electric vehicles and renewable energy solutions worldwide.
The President has always stated, we're moving in a very, very methodical manner. Here we are at a company that basically is the leading producer of electric batteries for motor vehicles. From the statistics that we've been given, I think this company accounts for about 50% of the global supply of batteries for motor vehicles. So when you look at Zambia's position insofar as the strategic minerals of lithium and cobalt and copper are concerned, and how we are trying to steer the country to be able to be a player in this particular green energy kind of industry, I think that we are in the right place to be able to foster synergies. And there's absolutely no need for Zambia to reinvent the wheel, that there are companies with the technologies from where we can piggyback and obviously look for partnerships.
Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis, Nenged, Fujian Province, in China.
And President Hakainde Hichilema says his visit to Shanxi village, situated along the Baima River in Fujian Province in China, has reinvigorated his desire to transform rural Zambia. President Hichilema says it is inspiring to see how a once upon a time highly impoverished area has been transformed into a modern place. Here's a report.
President Hakainde Hichilema's vision has been anchored on rural revitalization aimed at addressing major issues affecting rural Zambia. The president is focused on bolstering agricultural production, developing rural housing and land use, and alleviating poverty. This is why President Hakainde Hichilema's administration, in only 2 years of being in government, has increased the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) from a meager 1.6 million kwacha to 28.3 million kwacha, all aimed at ensuring that all parts of Zambia share public resources through development. While in China, President Hichilema visited Zhangke village situated along the Baima River in Fujian province, which has been transformed into a modern dwelling under the administration of President Xi Jinping of China. The development process of this place has been documented through these graphs dating from as far as 1997 to date. The president said he has drawn a lot of inspiration from Chinese President Xi Jinping's village transformation efforts.
We can do anything we want, anything we believe in, but we have to work for it. We have to work hard. But it's all anchored on love for the people, loving for all our people, as President Xi Jinping did very early on in his leadership when he was in charge of this area and then in charge of this Fujian province.
In 2021, the Chinese government eradicated extreme poverty among its citizens and is now on the next stage of modernizing every place considered rural.
Back home, from different places, thousands of kilometers different, we also have a vision for our people, all of the people of Zambia. And that's why when we took office, we took a decision, dramatic decision, to take money away from the center in Lusaka and take it to the local areas. There are areas like this. As I was listening to the story, my brain was running quickly and said, that area is like this, that area is like this.
Going by the president's vision, our own president, under the expanded Constituency Development Fund, which has been expanded by size and by extent, we are hopeful that despite running a very small economy, we can make giant steps to transform the rural areas. And that's the reason why, in his wisdom, President Hakainde Hichilema decided that he was going to reprofile the ministry that I'm privileged to run from simply Ministry of Local Government and Housing to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, which encompasses the development agenda for both the rural and the urban, but paying more focus, more attention on the rural areas.
In China, this is now what they call a village. Yes, a village. Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis. Nenged, Fujian province in China.
The Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has so far paid over 53 million kwacha to farmers that have sold maize to the agency in Isoka district. Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule says the total of 914 farmers who supplied maize to FRA to date have since received their money. Speaking when he visited one of the FRA depots in Isoka district, Mr. Mukungule disclosed that the agency is on course towards meeting the regional target of about 65,000 tons of white maize by the end of this year. Details by Henry Lumpa Jr.
These are farmers in Isoka district on long queues at one of the banks getting ready to get paid for their maize sold to the Food Reserve Agency FRA. Information and Media Permanent Secretary Kenneth Kalunga, who was accompanied by Muchinga Province Permanent Secretary Henry Mukungule, made a spot check at one of the sheds in the district. The provincial PS later gave an update on the amount of money paid to the farmers so far.
We have about 914 farmers that have supplied maize to FRA. And from those under Isoka, we have paid out in terms of money 53,448,080 kwacha to the farmers. So this has actually inspired the farmers.
Some farmers in Isoka district have expressed gratitude to government for paying them on time.
This farming season, we have been paid on time for the first time. We are grateful to the head of state for looking into our plight.
To the agro dealers, this move has boosted their business.
It has never happened like this before, where the farmers start buying this land. Yeah. So we have got a good number of farmers from Chibale, from Mafinga, and from within Lesotho, and also some coming from and they have some good quantities. And we are doing our best to supply to ensure that we do not run out of stock. So right now we're just moving our truck. We are 2 warehouses here, and the other one are looking special.
The regional target from Chinga province in buying maize is 65,000 tons by the end of this year. Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Isoka, Mchinga province.
And Secretary to the Cabinet, Patrick Kangwa, has assured that the country is food secure as it has enough maize reserves. Mr. Kangwa, who is also chairperson of the Task Force on Food Security, said government has put in place measures to stabilize the price of mealie meal. He has meanwhile urged all Zambians to take advantage of the credit facility and increase market price by venturing into crop production. Details in this report.
Obwali ekikalamba obunga muno mu Zambia ekyakulya icho tulya.
Hapa natoka mgula unga uli hapa ono. Nagula 285. Mpamene manje unga tizogula pa 185. So kwa hizo bwera mvula tizogula pa zingati.
These are some of the sentiments from members of the public on the unstable prices of mealie meal in the country. However, the government says it is doing everything possible to ensure the price of the commodity is stabilized.
So this year, we've taken a number of steps: the price, the early delivery of inputs, the revitalization of extension services, because the extension services are key. If people are told whether their fields should be lined, whether they need, which type of fertilizer they need, this will help the yields that are coming out. So as a government, we see increased yields, more pieces of land, more hectares under production, and then ultimately, which is the most important part, when everyone produces, they feed, they can get their own crop, sell the surplus. We as a country must make sure people have a market internationally.
Highlighting some of the measures that government is putting in place to address the challenge, the Secretary to the Cabinet assured that the country is food secure.
And currently, the public should not panic, as we have already bought adequate strategic reserve maize, which is capable to undertake its role as provided by the FRA Act. However, we continue pursuing more maize because it was Cabinet's decision that we buy over and above the strategic reserve. So we have continued buying more and more maize.
Mr. Kangwa further appealed to various stakeholders to work with the government and encourage more citizens to venture in production of maize so that the price of mealie meal is stabilized.
Other stakeholders in terms of stabilizing the maize production. Stabilization of mealie meal prices is based on stabilization on increased production. And for increased production, we have brought on board all stakeholders to ensure our production goes up. This includes traditional leaders. It also includes the church, mother bodies. It includes the public service workers. We've brought all of them on board so that all of them are party to the production. This production is key in that they all have a role to play.
Wopa Center for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, Chief Agricultural Economist in the Ministry of Agriculture, Nicholas Mainza, has emphasized the need for farmers to diversify their farming activities. Speaking at a citrus field day held at Chiwala Citrus Farm in Mulamba village of Chief Mokonchi in Kapirimposhi district, Dr. Mainza said citrus farming requires minimal inputs, making it an appealing choice for sustainable agriculture. Kruger Siankulu has the details in this report.
Chiwala Citrus Farm in Mokonchi Chiefdom of Kapirimposhi district has held a citrus field day where the sharing of agricultural skills and expertise in citrus growing was in full swing. The farm boasts of over 1,000 fully grown citrus plants and nurtures over 20,000 grafted seedlings, a testament to the dedication of its host, Noah Chiwala.
No people who are buying a big bag. There's no big bag. They're buying 2, 3, 3. How can you manage that? You can see. They're even
overgrowing.
Overgrowing.
Yes. That's why I'm after marketing.
Chief Agricultural Economist from the Ministry of Agriculture, Dr. Nicholas Mainza, highlighted the importance of supporting farms like Chiwala Citrus Farm and turning them into valuable learning points.
He needs support, even financially, just for him to be able to grow. We can use him, like I said, as a model farmer, where schools, universities, he's just behind you in Mulungushi University, and this can be a learning point for the agriculture school. He needs support. There's CDF, what we call Constituency Development Fund. These are the kind of model farmers that we need to support.
The Citrus Field Day attendees were also eager to share their insights and experiences after the farm tour.
This farm is it's very important to us as a school because we bring our pupils here, mostly those doing agriculture science. They come here for what we call the SBS, that's the school-based assessments. They come to learn from Mr. Chwala himself here.
If you look at the hectarage which Mr. Chwala have, it's very small, but he has managed to have a vehicle, a motorbike, a house, a mule, a lot of things.
Krugas Yankuru for Zanis in Kapiniposhi District, Central Province.
We take a break, and when we come back, over 10,000 farmers to benefit from FISIP in Lufanyama. Stay tuned.
Life is a journey full of varied experiences. Can we reach our desired destiny? Can we achieve our desired goals? If yes, then how? Join Juliet Mutale on Thursday at 18:30 hours on How I Made It, a program that highlights various success stories from different personalities with different life experiences and backgrounds. Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
Welcome back. In Copperbelt Province, over 10,000 farmers are earmarked to benefit from this year's Farmer Input Support Program, FISIP, for 2023-2024 farming season in Lufanyama District in the Copperbelt Province. Lufanyama District Commissioner Justin Malikwa said this when he witnessed the arrival of fertilizer under the FISIP program at the depot located in Kalulushi District. Agrippa Silumbwe filed in this report.
The presence of these trucks here confirms the arrival of fertilizer under the Farmer Input Support Program in Lufanyama District.
We receive about 4 to 5 trucks per day, which is equal to 2,400 bags. We are able to finish or to receive the whole tonnage allocated to us by the end of the month.
And the district commissioner is closely monitoring the coming of the commodity.
And like you can see in the background, this is just part of the consignment that has so far been received. The target which we are supposed to receive is 1,551 metric tons. And so far received 862.59 metric tons, translating into 17,259 by 50 kg bags of G compound.
Meanwhile, the district agriculture office is ready to start the distribution of fertilizer to beneficiaries.
We are supposed to start sending our farmers to the banks, I think within this week. Thursday, Friday, we'll start going. Lufanyama district has a total number of 10,340 beneficiaries.
Lufanyama is among the districts on the Copperbelt province that have already started receiving fertilizer for 2023-2024 farming season. Reporting, I'm Agrippa Slumbwe.
Meanwhile, Choma District Commissioner Gamela Sikalea has reiterated government's commitment to supporting innovative farming technologies that promote value addition. Mr. Sikalea says President Hakainde Hichilema's speech in Parliament last week clearly stated the need for more value addition projects to increase income generation in communities. He was speaking when he interacted with the members of the Cotton Association of Zambia that were sent to India for training on how to add value to their produce. Wakumelo Sitali now reports.
Addition in the agriculture sector is one of the vital measures that increase income generation for farmers. In a wish to increase production and productivity in the cotton industry, the Cotton Association of Zambia has started adding value to cotton by producing various garments. A number of female members of the association have been trained in weaving. Cotton Association of Zambia is targeting to share this initiative to all members to enable them generate income all year round.
Way back we had some women that were taken into India to learn this art, and later on these women they helped in training other women. This we want to ensure that farmers they appreciate that they can also participate right from farm to fabric. So this is basically value being added, but at farm level.
The empowered women are happy and are eager to share the skill with others.
Cotton is one crop which is considered as a raw crop, whereby the prices they change year in, year out. Hence the need to empower the producers with the skills so that in the year when the prices are bad, they can work on it and add value on their own. The whole idea is if all go well, we need to have three so that we continue empowering our fellow women and youths.
This development has elected Choma District Commissioner Gamera Sikalea.
With the coming of this value addition, I think people see sense in the cotton production, because now there are people who are able to grow cotton and then to fabric manufacturing. So if we followed my president, the president has talked about value addition in most of things that we are doing. I think this is the way it should be. We have to sit somehow with the Department of Cooperative and to see how and where they can sell these products so that at least we have a complete chain.
Wakumelo Sitali, Zanis, in Choma District, Southern Province.
We continue with the news. President Hakainde Hichilema's pronouncements during the official opening of the third session of the 13th National Assembly last Friday has continued to receive accolades from various sectors of society. Among the many pronouncements which the president made is the recruitment of 3,000 health workers this year. This news has elated various sector players, including the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia. Details in the following report by Lou Majila.
Madam Speaker, health care remains central to our strategy of ensuring better life for all our people. To improve attention according to patients, government will this year once again recruit 3,000 health workers across the country.
It is less than a week since President Hakainde Hichilema made this pronouncement during the official opening of the third session of the 13th sitting of Parliament in Lusaka. The Nursing and Midwifery Council of Zambia, NMCZ, an authority mandated by an Act of Parliament to regulate the nursing and midwifery education and practice in Zambia, has witnessed a sharp increase in requests for applications for practicing licenses to be considered earlier than allocated days in view of the pending recruitment of 3,000 health workers by government. However, NMCZ has welcomed the announcement.
We would want to first of all thank the government for this gesture of considering recruitment of the health workers, that includes the nurses and midwives.
Both registered and qualified nurses and midwives are anxious with the pronouncement.
We want to try our luck. Hopefully, we'll get a chance. It is a good move by the government. Hopefully, they will still be recruiting more people.
Yeah, so I'm here to acquire my license and other documents to get my diploma so that I will apply. We need to thank the government for the opportunity that he has given us a chance. We just feel motivated. It's an opportunity of work.
The recruitment of 3,000 health workers is complemented by various health infrastructure developments countrywide.
The construction
of such health facilities assures me, and indeed the new Dawn administration, that as a country we are on course in ensuring that quality primary health care service is provided to all, regardless of the distance, including the rural parts of our country.
Lou Majela, reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Government has observed that malnutrition levels are on the rise in the country, while stunting levels are also high, standing at 35%. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo said Zambia is facing a triple burden of malnutrition, which includes undernutrition in different forms such as stunting. Zanis reports that the minister said this today when she officially opened the two-day National Nutrition Conference in Lusaka. More in the following report.
Malnutrition is an imbalance in dietary intake. It occurs when a person has too much or too little food or essential nutrients. People become malnourished if they do not eat enough food, leading to malnutrition, and this has continued to be a challenge worldwide, and Zambia is not exceptional. And here in Lusaka, nutrition experts are meeting for 2 days at the National Nutrition Conference to discuss ways and means of reducing malnutrition in the country. Minister of Health Sylvia Masebo officially opened the conference with an emphasis that malnutrition has continued to be a challenge in the country.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all alive to the fact that Zambia is facing a triple burden of malnutrition, which includes undernutrition in form of stunting, micronutrition nutrients deficiencies in form of anemia, and under and overnutrition in form of overweight and obesity, and also diet-related non-communicable diseases such as type 2 diabetes and hypertension.
National Nutrition Coordinating Committee Vice Chairperson Lilian Kapusana gave insights on the conference.
This annual event provides us with a platform to appreciate the food and nutrition landscape in our country. Our meeting today is meant to provide an opportunity to learn from each other by sharing recent research findings in the field of food and nutrition, as well as success stories that can inform decision-making for a well-nourished population.
Various stakeholders from different spheres of life are present and have made significant contributions to the conference.
Recognizing that no single entity can address the multifaceted challenges of malnutrition. A comprehensive multi-sectoral approach combining health, agriculture, water and sanitation, education, and economic growth strategies is required.
But unless we accelerate multi-sectoral implementation to address these factors, this limits our ability to reach our intended beneficiaries and to really substantially make a difference, whilst leaving no one behind.
The 2 days conference is being held under the theme, Strengthening and Accelerating Delivery of Multi-Sectoral Nutrition Interventions through Evidence-Driven Programming. Jane Simalumba Zanis in Lusaka.
Still in health news, University Teaching Hospital gynecologist and obstetrician Wyson Munga has expressed concern with the rise in the number of stillbirths in the country. Dr. Munga says to combat this trend, healthcare experts are raising awareness on the importance of early antenatal care and hospital deliveries. He told Zanis that most stillbirths occur after 20 weeks of pregnancy, but can be prevented or mitigated through timely medical intervention. Dr. Munga added that early antenatal care initiated within the first 3 months of pregnancy offers mothers the opportunity to receive essential guidance. He said one of the key factors contributing to stillbirths is the body's immune response when the mother has a rhesus positive blood group. He explained that in such cases, the mother's body may produce antibodies that attack the baby, potentially leading to fetal distress and in extreme cases resulting to stillbirth. He said elevated blood sugar levels also pose a significant risk, Hence, routine antenatal screening is important for expectant mothers. Dr. Munga has since urged expectant mothers to prioritize their health and the well-being of their unborn children by seeking early antenatal care.
Certain conditions that can give a rise in the risk of a baby dying inside the womb. One of them is diabetes, sugar disease in pregnancy. If it was not picked during antenatal, it's a very dangerous condition because the babies can die while inside the womb. The second possible cause of babies dying inside the womb before they are born is, hypertension, high blood pressure. High blood pressure in pregnancy is a very dangerous condition and it must always be treated because a lot of babies can succumb to dying even before they are born. The other cause of stillbirth is blood groups. Yeah, if the pregnant woman has a blood group which is rhesus negative, and then the husband, for example, has a rhesus blood group that is positive, then the resulting baby has a rhesus positive blood group. So the body of that woman who has a rhesus negative blood group will identify that baby as a foreign body and starts producing what we call antibodies to fight her own baby inside the womb, like it's a foreign body that needs to be fought off, and the baby can die inside the womb. So that's why in all this that we are talking about, we need to encourage our women to do screening for antenatal. In the first 3 months of pregnancy, the woman should start her first antenatal visit. And then you will be guided how often you will be seen. So that all these dangers, for example, we will know the blood group of the woman, we will know if she has diabetes or not. At every visit, we'll be measuring the blood pressure, is it high or not, so that if it is, we manage it. If the blood group is rhesus negative, you'll be given some injections to protect the unborn baby from the body reacting to it and causing death. If there's blood sugar that is high, it will be treated so that all is managed and we can prevent stillbirths as much as we can. But there are also stillbirths, those that are fresh. They just happen before delivery. It could also have something to do with the management of the labor, and how the labor is monitored. So please, our women, the basic message is that do deliver from a health facility. Always take your time, do antenatal, and then also deliver from a facility. No home deliveries, no delays at home. When labor starts, always present yourself to the facility so that the baby can also be monitored.
We take a break and we have more news when we return. Stay tuned.
Hello, it's time for you to know your rights. For ignorance of the law is no defense.
People should report any case of gender-based violence to the police. They should not be tempted to compromise the cases, because compromising a case of gender-based violence is actually an offense.
Zambia, like any other country, has got laws that govern the welfare of its citizens.
We provide some oversight on the police service.
When an officer misconducts himself, he's alone. One person being beaten is enough for the commission to move. The Constitution tells us that the people of Zambia must enjoy their liberties.
Every week on Thursday at 19:30 hours, the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis, brings to your screens a program dubbed Police and the Community.
If we, the police, and you, member of the public, will work together, because the common enemy we have before us is the criminal.
Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
We continue with the news. The Legal Aid Board, with the help of Ministry of Justice, has officially opened a legal aid office in Petauke District in Eastern Province. Legal Aid Board Director Humphrey Mwemba says the new office will help citizens who find themselves in conflict with the law in Petauke and surrounding areas to have equal access to justice. Details in this report by Munambonge.
Legal Aid Board, which is a statutory body created by Act No. 1 of 2021, with the help of government and the Ministry of Justice, has embarked on an ambitious program of taking the legal aid services closer to people. This is done in responding to government's policy of decentralization. Legal Aid Board has officially opened a district office in Petauke District in Eastern Province.
The story that the government, through the Ministry of Justice, the Legal Aid Board, and in particular board members, will stop at nothing to ensure justice and dignity for all. A quest that has not only led us here to Petauke, but to numerous other places across the nation. The hive of change that this noble gesture has presented is emphatic of government's respect for human rights and the rule of law.
And Petauke District Commissioner, who was represented by Petauke District Education Board Secretary, had this to say.
The idea is that Legal Aid Board and its services should be accessed by all Zambians in every corner of this country. My government is committed to seeing that all this is made possible, and through interactions with the people involved, the needs of legal aid will be addressed.
Meanwhile, Chief Nyampande representative thanked government through the Ministry of Justice for the new legal aid office in Petauke District.
We are happy that almost after 60 years of independence, justice has evaded the majority of ordinary Zambians. We thought it was only for town people, but now we are grateful to the government that it has come to the roots. And I hope our people feel free that
the new Legal Aid Board office in Petauke will provide legal services in both criminal and civil matters to persons whose means are inadequate in Petauke and surrounding areas. Muna Chiwende for Zanis in Petauke District of Eastern Province.
And the 12th session of the Zambia Democratic Republic of Congo DRC Joint Permanent Commission JPC meeting on defense and security has opened in Lubumbashi in the mineral-rich Katanga province of the DRC, with a call for control of border violations by nationals of both Zambia and the DRC. Co-chair of the JPC meeting, Norman Chipakupaku, who is Zambia's Ministry of Defense Permanent Secretary, said some challenges have been compounded by the vastness and porousness of the border between the two countries. Jonathan Mukoka reports from Lubumbashi that the meeting is also being attended by Zambia's ambassador to that country, Paulo Cosita, alongside defense and security chiefs from both Zambia and the DRC. Details in this report.
One by one, Zambian and Democratic Republic of Congo defense and security officers enter the conference room at Pullman Grand Taravia Hotel of Lubumbashi in the mineral-rich Katanga province of the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. The high-level delegation here for a 4-day joint permanent commission on defense and security between Zambia and the DRC. Zambia's Defense Permanent Secretary, Norman Chipakupaku, co-chaired the official opening of the meeting.
To be able to review progress made in attaining their objectives formulated during the previous engagement, as well as facilitating increased interaction between our officials so as to enhance our bilateral relations.
Mr. Chipakupaku expressed concern at the continued border violations by nationals of both Zambia and the DRC.
Chairperson, while relations between Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo have remained cordial due to our deep-rooted historical ties, there have been some challenges such as the border violations by nationals of both countries. These have been compounded by the vastness and porous nature of our border.
DRC is represented by Mr. Stanislas Wakatumwina, who is the advisor to the Interior Minister.
La régularité de nos travaux.
So the regularity of our works
atteste la vitalité de la dynamique
is certifying the dynamics and the reality of good relationship, of the good neighboring relationship which has been held by our Excellencies the President.
The meeting is expected to issue a communique during the closing ceremony that will also be attended by Zambia's Defense Minister, Ambrose Lufuma, after 4 days of serious deliberations. Jonathan reporting for Zanis News in Lubumbashi in the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC.
We continue with the news. Civic leaders in Chavuma district in Northwestern Province have extolled President Hakainde Hichilema for deciding to improve the conditions of service for councillors and increase their allowances. Speaking on behalf of other civic leaders, Kakoma Ward Councillor Wesley Kahinga said he is confident that the pronouncement will be actualized. Josephine Banda gives us more in this report.
Various stakeholders have described President Hakainde Hichilema's address to the nation last week under the theme Building on Socio-Economic Gains for Improved Livelihoods and a Better Zambia as a speech spoken directly to the people of Zambia. Particularly, they are impressed that the president did not only touch down on a number of issues affecting the country, but has also put up measures and interventions to curb the vices. It is for this reason that councillors in Chavuma have expressed happiness with issues highlighted by the president, especially on the councillors' remuneration package.
He's talked about the emolument for the councillors countrywide. I think we are so much happy and so patient to wait, even though the president has already not yet actualized the same, but we are so happy for the same. Since we believe that he is the man of action.
Other stakeholders who are also impressed with the speech have commended the president's call for a credit window for small-scale farmers.
So that we are much confident with what we have seen so far that this government will not let us down, and it's a government that will improve the economy, the government that will improve our farming sectors through this deliberate process that the government has brought.
Meanwhile, some youths have noted that agriculture is the bedrock for the country's economic transformation. Therefore, there is need to add value to the country's produce.
Towards agriculture and other policies that surround agriculture, I would like to echo my sentiments that value addition should be taken seriously, because we have a lot of things that we farm, such as mangoes, mabuyu, tomatoes, that can be added value and we can export. In turn can give job creation to the youth.
Josephine Banda reporting for Zanis, Chavuma district in Northwestern Province.
In a bid to ensure that citizens have access to information, government through the Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, ZNBC, is installing FM transmitters for Radio 1 and 2 in districts where there was no signal. Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Kennedy Kalunga inspected the newly installed transmitter in Mporokoso district and expressed happiness that the local people will now be able to make informed decisions. More in the following report.
These are newly installed FM radio transmitters for Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation, ZNBC Radio 1 and 2 in Mporokoso district. The installation of these facilities has cheered the Minister of Information and Media Permanent Secretary, Kenneth Kalunga. Mr. Kalunga, who inspected the newly installed transmitters, says people from Mporokoso will now have easy access to information.
This is NBC and the director of NBC. It's good that the money that government allocated to you, we put it to good use, and I've witnessed that we've installed these transmitters well here, and also the feedback from the DC has attested that the people of Mporokoso are now listening to Radio 1 and Radio 2, which we are grateful.
Zambia National Broadcasting Corporation Director General Berry Lwando said all the newly installed transmitters in 15 districts are ready to be commissioned.
So it shows commitment on the part of this government, and we are truly grateful to that. And we are also truly grateful that the PS has actually taken us in this delegation to go around to inspect. And it's always gratifying when you do receive that kind of support.
And the Mporokoso District Commissioner could not hide his joy for the newly installed facilities in the area.
You may be aware there is CDF now, and we would want our people to know what is happening, how far we are progressing in terms of the implementation of CDF, and also from central government once there is information that needs to be given out to our people. Through ZNBC with 1 and 2, we are guaranteed now that they will have that information.
Reporting for Zanis in Mpolokoso, I'm Jafet Munkondia.
Government has disclosed that the loan recovery rate has increased from 25% in the previous government to 68% currently. Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development Elias Mubanga has attributed the improvement to the depoliticization of the loan awarding process. More in the following report.
During the opening of the third session of the 13th National Assembly, President Hakainde Hichilema informed the House that over 77,000 micro, small, and medium enterprises have been supported with various loans. These include Marketeer Booster Loans, Wusulu Loans, and Trade Finance. The Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development has disclosed that the loan repayment recovery rate has improved by over 100% from the time the current administration took over office.
I want to say when we took office as the UPND New Dawn government, the recovery rate was quite very, very low, because most of those who accessed funding through the institution were aligned to politics. But when we came in, we had to change some tables and some things. And then that's when we targeted the marketeers, and the Marketeer Booster Loan was launched. And so far, so good. The rate has actually gone to about, from 25%, we found that, to 60 to 68% recovery rate. So this is quite encouraging for the ministry.
When President Hichilema opened Parliament, he appealed to the financial sector to partner with government to provide favorable lending rates to emerging and thriving entrepreneurs. The Minister of Small and Medium Enterprise Development, Elias Mubanga, said the government is constantly engaging financial institutions to bring down lending rates. The minister, however, commended financial institutions for coming up with products that support small and medium enterprises.
When you compare Zambia and most of our neighboring countries, our interest rate in Zambia is quite high. So as government and through the Ministry of SME, we've engaged the financial institutions, our banks, commercial banks, to try and come up with solutions that will help SMEs to work in their banks and have access to finance. And a lot of these banks have responded. They've actually developed solutions which will suit the SMEs.
Mtalakani for Zanis News in Lusaka.
Lastly, in the news, a civic leader in Samuteba ward of Mwinilunga district in Northwestern Province has called on the Ministry of Education to consider converting Nyang'ombe Day Secondary School into a boarding school. Jane Keala says this will help protect the girl child, who mainly rent houses in villages, from sexual exploitation and early pregnancies. Ms. Keala told Zanis News in an interview that due to long distances that children have to cover to school, parents in the area rent houses for them in nearby villages where they are not guided and supervised. Meanwhile, the civic leader has bemoaned the lack of clean and safe drinking water in Nyang'ombe scheme area. Ms. Keala said Nyang'ombe scheme has a population of 6,000, all of whom are currently relying on one borehole to access drinking water and the nearby plains. She explains that the situation has since affected the health facility, which equally has no water source. She has since appealed to relevant government departments and other stakeholders in the district to sink more water points.
Yeah. That secondary school, we don't have a boarding, we don't have dormitories. It is a challenge to a girl child. They are now intermarrying. The parents will send their children there because not every parent will afford to bring their children at the Mununga boarding school due to some challenges, financial. When they go to Nyang'ombe, they're not concentrating. So I'm appealing. Dormitory should be there, and Nyang'ombe should be changed into boarding school. It can help because boarding schools, they have got guidelines and they have got rules which pupils follow.
As we end the news, we take a look at the headlines once again. Food Reserve Agency pays over 43 million kwacha to Isoka farmers. Farmers urged to grow citrus fruit trees. Legal Aid Board opens office in Petaoke. Plus, Zambia-DRC Joint Permanent Commission meeting opens in Lubumbashi. And that is all we had for you on Zanis News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm your presenter, Sarah Miti. Pleasant viewing.